Hey everybody, welcome to Legion Live. I'm Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy. My sidekick is not around today. You're stuck with me. Anyways, today we got a great topic. We're going to be talking about Amazon trends in 2022, how you can take these trends and make your account or your product listing more successful. So before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us over on Facebook, and definitely check out our website at privatelabellegion.com to get more great content. So number one, the first thing that comes to mind when I think about the difference from last year to this year is diversification. I think that as an Amazon seller, that we probably have to diversify more. I used to, when I started on Amazon, I could depend solely on Amazon. I would have a website that just pointed back to Amazon. Now I have my Amazon listing, I have my own website, but I'm trying to get people, drive traffic over to my website so I can have them as a client. And this is going to lead up to my last point. But anyways, having your own Shopify store is important. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can go also over to WooCommerce. You can go to BigCommerce. But for me, I like Shopify. It's just very easy to get set up, make it look fantastic. And the other thing you want to look for is you don't have to have like a 50-page site. You can have a one-pager, or you can just keep it focused on your product listing. It doesn't have to be complicated. Anyways, one of the things I'd recommend though is that you take a look at a graphic designer. I know, websites like Wix, they make it very easy for you to do it, but aesthetically, if they're not set up properly, or if you're not showing your brand or making your brand consistent, that could be a problem. So you want to make sure that you go to a designer that can help implement your Shopify store, and they're all over the place. You can go to Free Up for help. You can go to, you can go to Upwork. You can go to a variety of different spots. VAA, Philippines. There's a ton. Multiply Me might be able to help you out with this, although Multiply Me usually has more full-time positions. But anyways, Free Up would be, a go-to for, just a Shopify designer. It's pretty simple, straightforward, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. You could spend a few $100. You can spend $1,500, $2,500. But for most Amazon sellers just starting out, you'll probably be under $1,000. It's very inexpensive. Okay, now for the other platforms, there's all sorts. We've got the Shopify site. But what about Walmart? Have you seen how Walmart's been gaining and gaining and gaining? I don't know if you've ever taken a look or listened to our Facebook group, Selling on Walmart Marketplace. What we've seen is this year, we've actually seen some Walmart accounts take over and oversell our Amazon accounts. Now, this isn't in every account. However, we have seen this very rarely that it has outperformed Amazon. Most of the time, you're looking at 10 to 30%, but expect growth from Walmart. And that is a big prediction for this year. We think they've planted their feet on the ground finally. They're ready to take off. And I think with their Project Glass, that they now are ready to help or start to really grow rapidly. So if you're there first before your competition, you're going to reap the benefits. And don't forget about the niche type e-commerce sites like Chewy. If you're in the pet industry, Chewy can give you phenomenal sales if you have the right pet product. We also have Wayfair, Fair for wholesaling, because you might have to bring down your price. You might have to bring down your price 30% or whatever it is. But when you go into like a Fair, for example, FAIRE.com, well, you're going to get a group buy. You'll get a case of your product sold. And by the way, I want to just bring this back to Amazon for one quick second. we've had and we've seen a lot of wholesale business happen. And wholesale, I mean B2B business. Go in to Seller Central, get your B2B account set up. It's called B2B Central, and get those bulk buys, 25 pack, 50 pack, 100 pack. But here's the tip. Don't give the farm away. You don't need a 25 or 30 or 50% discount. Just give, we try to maybe give a 10 to 15% discount at very, very, very max when you're giving away 50 or 100 units. And if you start to give away 20 or 25%, all of a sudden you're not making any money. So this comes back. You have to understand and know your numbers. But just to check out all these new platforms out there. And don't forget about mom and pop shops. That's another area where you can diversify. So mom and pop shops are out there. There's hundreds of thousands of them, and they're looking for unique products. If you've got, it could be an interesting pet product. It could be a beauty product. Check it out. There's places out there that specify distributors that will help you. They have the connections. You just have to connect with them. You give them a percentage of your profit, but they'll reach out to all of these different mom and pops for you. And guess what? You get paid in advance. So they buy a case from you or 2 cases, and you get a credit card. So talk about cash flow. That doesn't hurt. Okay, so now let's move on to number 2. The thing that I'm looking at, and this is a bit of a mix, I'm looking at external traffic, okay? Amazon said that they wanted, they're giving you a bonus, referral bonus for external traffic. And they say on average, it'll be about 10%. So if you're spending money on Facebook or on Google Ads or wherever you're driving your traffic from, and you're spending money on that, you have to take in consideration that Amazon will pay you back as a credit. Now, you have to be brand registered. You have to have the attribution program in place. So if you don't know what the attribution program is, just check it out. It's very easy to understand and enroll in. And all you need to do is basically create the attribution program, create a tag, and what this will allow you to do is pixel wherever the product is coming from, so you can understand if you're wasting money or if you're spending money in the right place. If you're spending a lot of money on a couple of Facebook ads that you think are really performing well, you'll find out that maybe they suck, or maybe one is doing okay, and you can blend it with a Google ad that you've put together. Or Pinterest, or wherever it comes from, you can pixel it, which is fantastic. So there's the option that's out there for Amazon sellers right now. The other part to this, so part 2 to number 2, there's all sorts of other media outlets. So you can take a look at public relations or earned media. So try to get on to a TV show, or try to get into magazines. So maybe you're in, what's Oprah's magazine is O, or I think it's O. Say maybe they're doing something on beauty or different types of products, or they're talking about the benefits of a certain type of product. If you can get into that magazine, that would be great. And if you get into that magazine, you get an incredible high authority backlink back to your either product listing or to your website, wherever you want to drive that traffic to. So keep those in mind. Public relations, press releases, content, new media, and also external traffic. It's all combined into number 2. Number 3 is product sourcing. And we've talked about this, Tim and I talk about this all the time. The product opportunities are not gone. You just look at them different ways. Every single category has an opportunity. You just have to find that opportunity. And this is also driven by, okay, let's say I want to get into a supplement. Let's say I want to get into keto, or something along those lines. That's going to be very competitive. If I can find something, a niche that not a lot of people are penetrating, it'll be less competitive, but I still have to expect to spend a lot of money to either promote it or be competitive, to rank. So when I'm looking at a product, all I'm looking at is competition, price, and competitiveness, search volume. Now, what we've done, or what Tim has done in Project X, you've probably seen this with the wooden egg holder. When he first looked at it, the egg holders were saturated. It was ridiculous. Why would I get into a market like that? When he was looking and he went to Pinterest, and he went to Etsy, he noticed that there was a wood, a kind of a cool looking wood holder. When he checked on Amazon, there weren't any around. So he went with that. He saw the search volume, he went over, and he just kind of, him and Bradley, it dominated the niche. Now it's saturated because everybody's seen Project X, but he went and he found that type of opportunity. The opportunities are all around us. Just because, even if the project is saturated, if you've got the money, you can definitely compete. The problem is a lot of us don't want to take on that risk. We want to find something that, okay, we can spend a few $1,000 on. We can, plus your inventory, we can get some external traffic, we can get our PPC turned on, and will it work? Well, that's up to you doing your product research, your competitive analysis, and then looking for product opportunity. It is all around us. Now, where people have, and this is where it's going to change this year, is we've got China and we've got China. Most people are looking at China for all sorts of different products that there's other opportunities, maybe India, maybe in North America, maybe in South America, but those opportunities are around us. And what does that do? Well, first of all, the hurdle, more expensive. We've heard that hurdle, and yes, it can be more expensive. However, you have to take into consideration, what are you paying? What are you paying in shipping? What are you paying in the Trump tax? What are you paying for HTS codes? When you have something built in America, the lead time is usually cut down easily. Like, I've got product that we can get turned around in 2 weeks. We could be waiting 3 months right now. So that hassle factor. On top of that, US products usually have a higher perceived value. If somebody sees an eyeliner from China compared to an eyeliner in the States, guess who they're going to trust? And you could probably get a lot more money for the product. And when you're doing product sourcing, you have to be a little bit different than everybody else. Product sourcing now, you have to consider perceived value. If somebody does not have a package, put a package on it. If somebody's got an okay package, make a better package. Packaging is the least expensive thing you probably have around your product. The packaging makes everything. I'm not sure. I can't see the time, but yeah, okay, great. 13 minutes. But with packaging, when I take a look at a product and product sourcing, here's the first thing. I look on the sourcing page. Usually you'll see 3 different pricing tiers, and I'll use Dead Sea Mud. So Dead Sea Mud, this is a real example that I pulled off, and it was the bottom tier was around almost $7 to around a $14 range, Dead Sea Mud. The next tier that I was looking at was around $20 to $40, and the next tier, and there was prices in between, but the next tier was around the $70, $75 to the $90 mark. Now, here's something to consider. It's all Dead Sea Mud. It's coming from the same place. It's coming from the Dead Sea. The $85 Dead Sea Mud, which was 3.5 ounces, and the 16 ounce one for $6.95 were the same product. The only difference was packaging. Packaging made the difference. And I can give you all sorts of packaging tips and just examples and case studies that you can see that you can pull out, double your profit or triple your profit. It just depends. Not every product you can do that with, but on a lot of products you can. It's just making it look like it's a higher perceived value. Now, there is one catch. When you get your product and you're packaging the product, If your product listing doesn't look like it's at the price point, then you've got a problem. If somebody has that customer experience of $85 and it comes in a horrible, ugly, dented package, then you're going to get a lot of low star reviews. But if it comes and they expend $85 and they open it up and it's beautiful outer packaging, inner packaging, it's got maybe a nice insert or something on the inside, then people will say that, well, it's well worth it, and you'll get a repeat customer. So just kind of keep that in mind. So you can get over the hurdle of a more expensive product. And you have to take a look at what are some products that the US or South America or Central America are specialize in. I know we were looking at some wood products, and we were able to do a much better job than what we were looking at in China and doing it here in the States and at a lower cost. And then just changing the material. So having to look outside the box. If you have a product, can you change the material to make it fit in to a North American or South American mold? And by that, I mean, maybe you have, maybe it's instead of a wood, it's a plastic, or it's aluminum, or it's whatever, but you get my drift. So the next point, number 4, is inventory management. This has been a nightmare. Good news, like on Tim, we had our Centurion call last night, and we were talking about Amazon has increased the inventory storage, and they've also reduced the IPI, the inventory performance index, to 400. So you are going to get a little bit more give. However, that does not stop us from making sure that inventory management is in the forefront of what you're thinking about when you're ordering. Don't ship everything to Amazon. You don't want to have those extra rates. You don't know what they're thinking today to tomorrow. And you can send over bits at a time. So you can use a 3PL or a warehouse. If you're new, a warehouse is called a 3PL. And that warehouse or fulfillment center can send the product over just as you need it. I usually try to keep about 2.5 months worth of inventory over at Amazon, and I'll just bring over products as required. So think about that. Think about inventory management. We use a product called So Stocked. It's very affordable. It helps you plan out all this. Got nothing to do with So Stocked. I don't have anything to do, but check it out. I think it's a great app for, especially if you're a newer seller, kind of going from new one product to maybe having your second or third or fourth. So as it gets a bit more unruly, you really do need to have an inventory management system. Okay, the last thing, and a lot of people get into Amazon not thinking about this. Sometimes it's just what we call a side hustle, right? You want to make a couple extra, bucks, maybe to go out to dinner, maybe to get a car payment or two. But all of a sudden, your business takes off. And all of this, now you're thinking, oh, maybe I can sell this thing. Well, last year, we all heard about this craze about aggregators buying up Amazon businesses left, right, and center. And there are, that I know of, around 70 plus aggregators out there. And there's probably a lot more that I don't know about. But at last count, it was around 70 plus, and they're being very aggressive. Now, I'm not sure how that's going to look coming into the next year or two. I'm sure a few will consolidate, but they're still buying up Amazon businesses. Number 5 is called the exit strategy. Think about it. Be proactive. If you make it easy for an aggregator to buy your business, all the better. If you come to them with a shoebox full of receipts and it looks disorganized and it just looks like a wet rag, well, it's going to be harder for them to take you seriously. They'll take a look at your product. They'll take a look at what you're doing, but who knows? It might take, a zero off of what they're offering. Maybe, maybe not. But if you can go to them well organized, that you have your accounting in place, you've gone to an accountant that actually does e-commerce rather than just regular accounting, then that'll be a bonus. If you know your numbers, that's another bonus. If you kind of get rid of all the crap expenses, maybe you have 100 different tools, well, get what you need and kind of just figure out it's the right time of year. It's in January. Just use the tools that you need. There's a lot of overlapping. Hey, if you haven't used it in a year, get rid of it. You probably, and look at those subscriptions that I just looked at mine, but look at the subscriptions that you subscribe to and get rid of a lot of the crap. Now, there is an app out there called Track My Subscriptions. I use it. All my team knows that anytime I have a trial, because you get suckered on trials, all of a sudden you got a credit card that comes out, but I put it in there, and then I hear that or every time that there's a trial ending or a subscription coming up for renewal, I get a notification. So this has helped me save. And last year, I was able to get rid of over $3,600 of subscriptions that I forgot I had. So anyways, that was a bonus to me. Do that. Get your receipts. Get SOPs, automate your systems if you have it. If you have a VA, make sure that they have processes in place. SOPs are fantastic. I mean, you can go to process.street or you can go to Flowster. Flowster is an excellent program. And guess what? If you go to Flowster, they actually have a workbook for Amazon sellers, Amazon FBA sellers, that you have everything there in front of you, that if you are lazy, I'll take that back. If you don't want to do all the SOPs yourself, it's already started. You just plug and play. So that was Flowster, and I can highly recommend that. But just get ready for that exit strategy. Who's going to buy your product, or who's going to buy your store? Take a look. Take a look at how you can improve it. Can you expand it? Get rid of the products that aren't performing. Make sure that you have a consistent looking brand. Anyways, I think that's it. I think I ran overtime today. I did. But if you have questions on the 5 trends in 2022, just let us know. And like I mentioned at the beginning, if you like what you heard today, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Diversify your platforms. I wish Tim was here. He does this all the time, not me. So don't forget to subscribe to YouTube, follow us on our Facebook group, and check out our website at privatelabellegion.com. If you want more training, this is all free. If you are interested in more in-depth training, we do have a group called the Centurion League, and we have 8 meetings a month. Check it out. You can get to it going through our privatelabellegion.com. But for now, that's it. We will see you next week. I'm Norm Farrar, and hopefully Tim will be here next week.